Hello all, this is Shashanka here. So able to hear me, first of all?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, very good evening to all. Yeah, so yeah, we are good to go. We can able to start the session. So just quickly, we just introduce myself. So this is Shashanka here. So I have 9+ years of total years of experience into the DevOps and cloud. So I'm part of the Learnomate Technologies. So we just quickly go to the about our Learnomate things, what exactly they do it, and we just have a quick on that. So Learnomate Technologies is a software solutions provider as a trainer. It's a leading trainer, one of the leading trainers in Pune and Hyderabad. Okay, so they are based upon two locations and they're rapidly expanding. So in the software training and related technology, which are currently are coming into the day-to-day activities or these things, and coming to their mission and values, they are aimed to develop the software, latest technologies of softwares to n number of people. As much of their approach and reach should be there. So that is their mission and their vision to transform the lives. And they provide excellent innovation, integrate and empowerment and accountability to the each and every students who have been learned from them. And these are the recent achievements from the past 10 years who have been learning from them and who have been achieved their success in their career. So these are the guys who have been recently placed actually. And this is our CEO actually, who is Ankush Tavali. So he is the guy who have been lot of experience in the software industry and is a pioneer. And he has been having hands into many sectors into it. So he is the guy who going to the include his mission is a Udan. So the thing is that he want to grow up all the people who are achieving into the software field, all these things. And the Learnomate Technologies presence in the YouTube as well, and they do have 23K subscribers, and their presence in the digital media platforms in this. So to approach the students and all other way of possibility to reach out them, and they have a high rating of 4.8 stars. So whoever has been learned from this institute, from the prestigious institute, they have been 100% satisfied. So there is no any kind of lagging or any other things. So you can trust them, and they do have followers, their presence in Insta as well. So they have trainers from various technologies, not only into the of our today's on the DevOps topic. They do have presence in Oracle DBA, Oracle Fusion, Oracle Cloud, data engineering and data science, and Java, Python, SAP, and AWS and Salesforce as well. So you might got a chance if you have any other people who want to learn interest. So ask them to just a quick check with them. So their trainers and their sales teams would approach to you and they will give a demo on those things. And they're currently present in offline and online, and they provide certification as well, and they provide the real-time projects as well. So they provide the lab access, everything. So and they provide the helping resume. So it's a lot of difficult task actually to build a resume. We think it is very easy. So they provide these services as well. So it's about the Learnomate Technologies. Okay. Now, next. So today our topic is about the DevOps. Okay. So guys, many of people are hearing about this DevOps terms recently. The past 5 years, that's become a buzzword in our IT industry. First of all, so we need to know about what exactly it is, from where we need to start, why we need to start, what are the benefits of those things. So what is the current the things which you are doing, and what exactly we want to do achieve from this DevOps. Once we are learned, once we are getting into it, what kind of things are coming into the picture, what kind of roles we need to play once this DevOps, when we learn into it. So first of all, there's a misconception is there. DevOps is not, it's not a tech, it's a culture. Okay, it's a culture. So meaning a lot of people thinks that it's a new technology, so we want to learn it, we need to adopt it, so we can get a better job opportunities on that. But it's not the true actually. So it's a culture. So meaning what? So we do have different, when we are developing any software or any kind of things. So we follow some specific approaches. So what kind of approaches we generally follow? So generally we follow the SDLC approach. So what is nothing but SDLC, software development lifecycle. First, we need to know about what is software development lifecycle. Then we can easily understand that DevOps. So this is the common practices we generally use. Common practices we follow if we want to develop any kind of software application or any infrastructure or any kind of what I would say infrastructure kind of platforms. We follow the software development lifecycle steps. So what generally we do have in that? So we do have a planning will be there. So first we need to learn what kind of planning, what kind of thing we need to develop. So we have a specific documentation, specific protocols we generally following it. So in this work, we gather the requirements, we analyze the requirements, and we design the code, and we implement that particular code, and we deploy that code, and we maintain that code. So this is how we follow. So in this process, what exactly we are facing? A lot of difficulty, lot of lagging we are facing. So to overcome with those things, we come with an approach of agile methodologies. Okay, so what is in this agile methodologies? What we have been given, a Scrum Master has been came into the picture. The Scrum role has been came into the picture, and the sprint meetings are going to get happen. So everything is tracking by the ticketing tool. Everything is tracking, monitoring by the ticketing softwares, of like kind of Jira, like kind of Snow is there, Service Snow is there. So these kind of things are coming into the place. Okay. These other things are generally comes into the picture. So when after this agile methodology, still people are somewhat it is missing that the way of process we are following. It's becoming little bit slow. It's becoming very slow instead of going in a rapid phase. Even after these orders, then the term has been came about DevOps. They found out the core issue. So why we need this DevOps, and what exactly it meaning is, they collaborate the development team in the operations teams together, and the only single guy need to perform as a DevOps engineer. We need to perform seamlessly from development stage to the production stage without any hassles. So in a it should be get happen quickly. So how it does it happen quickly? So when we want to build any software, or when we want to build any code, we take a lot of time. Everything is, yes, time and efforts will take to develop any software. That's okay. But if you want to deploy it into and securely, that too, with a secure manner, if you want to deploy it, means so it takes a lot of time and effort for us, and a lot of hurdles we are going to come. So the 10 developers of team is there. So 9 developers has been completed their code, and 1 developer code still has been came into the picture. So then we again concern that particular guy. Again, we ask them to share the code. We merge that code. Again, we need to recompile it. If we have any issues, again we need to restart the code again from the starting to base. Once it has been done, again we need to go to the testing team. Once they have been clear sign off, then only we can able to deploy. So if something is breaking in this SDLC, again we are starting from the starting first onwards in the SDLC process. So this is never ending process. It's going to come. So what they have been made, DevOps is coming into the picture. So they have thought that make an automation of tools. So automation is the only solution that we can able to maintain our code from coding stage, from development stage to the production stage. So what they have been made, there is a set of tools they have been introduced in the DevOps methodologies. So what is kind of, there are different set of tools are there. These are the tools which automates entire our work process, and securely deploy our application. That is the end goal of the DevOps culture, or DevOps path of set, which we are going to discuss, and its principles. So here, what exactly the way of till now we have been doing, what the new things we are going to learn is somewhat quite not similar, very completely different. What are the things were existing, we are following it. Now here into this, what as I said already, previously we already experienced with the SDLC and we are experienced with the Agile. Now coming into this DevOps, first we need to go into the last 10 or 15 years back, how the server management is going to happen. Just a simple example. Then you will guys let you know that very in a precise actually. So server management, generally there is a server team will be there. So there is a specific bunch of people with, so they used to manage the servers, they used to manage the networking, they used to manage the, if any physical damages are there, they need to check it. If any ports are going to fail, they used to manage the things. And there is a maintenance team will be there for apart from that. So they used to shut down their operations at particular specific intervals so that they can able to, if something upgradations are going to happen, so they used to buy some physical servers, and they can able to scale up the applications based upon the traffic, how incoming traffic is coming of our application. These kind of things are available. So here lot of physical effort is going to get happen here. So instead of that, right now when we have a platform as a service like kind of AWS, like Amazon Web Services, they are providing whatever the server you want within 2 minutes. They are giving us. See, if you have the configuration of 2 GB of CPU and 8 GB of memory with 100 GB of some hard disk I want, yes, they will immediately give it. You just need to give the inputs to them. They will directly give it to your server direct. So meaning from physical machines to the cloud we are migrating. So the imagine the time, how much we have been wasted, how much the time has been consumed for when we are working with the physical servers, when we are migrating to the cloud server. It's drastically reduced to 99%. So if anyone wants anything to develop, once the code has been up, if you want to deploy in a server, means to set up that server, it's going to take a lot of time. I will tell you one more small example. So a lot of people, we generally have been 10 or 15 years back, probably we generally used to install we install it, right? Windows 7, Windows XP or Windows 11, this kind of softwares we used to, I mean, the operating systems we generally used to install. So we buy we get a disk, and we keep the disk in a physical machine, so it keeps on running so for 5 to 6 hours, and we partition, that's a C drive, E drive, F drive, we partition it. If something is going to fail, power fluctuation is something that again we used to redo the same things. So from 6 hours of 7 hours of tasks what we have been done previous days, now within 2 minutes the same thing we are getting from the clouds, from the cloud providers, from AWS, from Azure, from GCP, from Alibaba Cloud, from or IBM iCloud. So these are the various top cloud providers. Among those, AWS is the quite top one. So it's because it's very easy, very easy to use. So I hope you got the answer. So from where we have been struggling this to now, here the business continuity, the time management, and the efforts of money which has been spent, everything has been spent very less. And now one more here, the thing is how much you pay and use, pay as you go. So meaning of how much you use it, pay that much only. No need to pay entire the amount at that time. So meaning if you're buying any physical server for X amount, it will it, it will realize with us only. So if you use it or if you doesn't use it, it will be there with us. But in the cloud, how much amount of bin you have been used, pay that much also. It is as a rent. So meaning if you buy 100 GB of storage, if you just store only 10 GB of it, remaining 90 GB is it is empty. There is no any use to keep that. But in the cloud, you can able to get only whatever the amount you want. You can able to automatic scale, you can reduce the scale as well. So meaning you can able to reduce your capacity and increase your capacity based upon your needs. So that is the one of the benefits here. Now coming into the our main content, into the DevOps. Here this is the history, what exactly we have been discussing about the entire the history of the DevOps and why it has been came. So it's a complete set of tools. So we need to learn about the tools. So these tools are going to help us in the way of it improves the efficiency, it improves the capability, it improves the reliability of the applications. So immediately you can able to do the things. So we are in a machine, we are in an AI age right now. Everything is going to getting happening things done by the AI, but it's not completely with the AI. We are hearing it from the past 10 years. coming from the next 10 years, so we are going to, but some basic things which are there that doesn't be able to replace it. It just help us to get upon the things, but it doesn't replace us. So meaning, so we need some set of tools to learn it, to make automation simpler and very easy, so that the software can able to whatever the things we have been manufactured. I mean the code which have been manufactured, we have been right. So it can seamlessly can able to deploy, and the customers can able to access those applications. Suppose take example banking application, any update or something is there, they want to. Banking is very secured applications, right? So when we are using any banking applications, if some service is getting down, means it's going to impact the client very hard actually. So if you want to build that setup, if with the SDLC, it's going to take months. But if you set up the same thing with the DevOps methodologies, it's very easy. Within hardly within a week or within 2 weeks, you can able to set up everything. So that's the capable. Once the setup has been done, you can able to reuse the code. You can every time reuse the same kind of setups which have been done. So no need to worry that once they have been done, everything is gone for a toss. Nothing. So you can able to do that, and you can able to do the same things in the multiple clouds. I mean, not only in the Azure, you can able to deploy your applications in Azure, some applications in the AWS, some applications in the GCP. So in this, but in the overall, everything will be in the cloud. So to manage all those things, to work with all those things, we need some specific kind of tools where we do have. So using these tools, we can able to learn the DevOps how it works, and it will help us not only in the development life cycle from the SDLC, from the agile. It will pivots from the next going to in the next coming next 5 years or next 10 years. DevSecOps is going to come, MLOps is going to come. So these are the pathways. These automation tools are the pathways we can able to learn for the next generation kind of things. So we are moving out of phasely manner. We are moving out of the old kind of technology. We are coming to a new generation kind of. So we need to catch those things. So here in the DevOps, we do have, these are in this course, we do have kind of Git, GitHub, Jenkins, AWS, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and some monitoring tools. So these are the automation tools. Whichever the things has been saying that these are the entire the thing automation tools, and these are the open source. So what is meaning by open source? First of all, open source is the thing that it is free for all. So no need to pay any license fee or any other things. Earlier, if you want to use it, you need to pay a license fee. Everything for each and everything, even for just for to convert a PDF to Word document to PDF as well. We are going to we need to pay some amount of fee earlier, 10 or 15 years back. Right now, everything is available in the cloud. So meaning that is an open source. So which is free. They have made it free that anyone can able to access anytime, anywhere. Okay. Now, if anyone can able to access anytime and anywhere, but you need to ask me the questions. There is a security might be get issue. Yes, there is a might be security get around issue, but large open source communities contributing to this kind of technologies. So it is a robust architecture. Is there everything is been approved by the heads of those applications? Then only it will be get done. Now, once these are open source are there, right? So there are a lot of big companies like Red Hat, AWS, and Azure. They themselves has been comes into the picture. They provide the enterprise services. So what is meaning by enterprise? One is open sources, like we can able to directly download from the internet. We can able to use it. Enterprise services, we need to pay some kind of amount to them, so that they can able to give the support for us. So meaning if we stuck with any issue, if we are getting a problem with that application, or if we are problem getting any kind of issue, something has been crashed, so you can immediately get a response. But when the open source tools, when we are using, we don't get much kind of response. Why? Because it's just a free tool, right? So no one can able to bother us if something is not working from your end. So you need to work it closely. After 1 or 2 months, if you raise those issues to that particular concerned entity, they will resolve those. But when the enterprise applications are coming into the picture, they are ready to support you immediately. So they charge some amount of those things. So that is the difference between the open source and the enterprise. So everything is available in the enterprise, everything is available in the open source. So suppose take simple example, Linux is an open source operating system, but we do have different dishes. Sushi Linux is there, Ubuntu Linux is there, AWS, Amazon Linux is there, Red Hat Linux is there. So meaning what? Linux is an operating system. Even we can able to download it from the internet. You just do some kind of do a nice front end and with a nice features and wrap that software, and you can able to sell from by your name, by your organization. The same thing which is doing by the Red Hat Linux, the same thing which is doing by the Amazon Linux. So operating system is same for, across all of them, but the way of behavior, the way of handling, managing the things is different. That's it. So this is about the open source. Now we are going to learn about the Linux operating system and how the Linux is behaving. So you need to ask, we are using the Windows right every time, but when you're deploying any applications, lot of organizations, 90 plus organizations, 90 to 95%, everyone chooses the Linux operating system because based upon the security and based upon its processors. So the architecture of the Linux is very robust and very easy to use and secure to use. So that is the only security is the only reason. So that is we use the Linux operating system. And based upon this Linux only, lot of things has been evolved. So I'm meaning, so in the Linux, we use the commands actually. In Windows operating system, what we will use it, we generally have a nice UI is there. So everything we do with the UI only, user interface, nice user interface is there. We just click if you want to create any file, if you want to play any video, if you want to access, browse, and everything is by clicks only we can able to do. But in the Linux, it is not possible. Everything we can able to do in the commands. Yes, they do have some UIs, some user interfaces are there, everything is there. But in a nutshell, Linux mostly we use by the access by the commands only. In this below all the tools which I said, we use them by the commands itself. So many, if you learn Linux, you will get a grip on these tools. So first we start our course with the Linux operating system. So how we can able to use that Linux operating system, what are the commands are there, how we need to get familiar, not entire the things, basic things is enough. In Windows, we do a lot of tools are there, but we won't use any tools, right? There we just use how much amount of work we require. Those only we use. In the same way, Linux also we use the same thing. So we need to more familiar. No, one how we need. So if you want Linux operating system means, so many people are comes into the say that we need to install that Linux operating system like as Windows. So no need to worry. We do have a cloud providers are there. So AWS is there, Azure is there, GCP is there. These are the cloud platform providers. So platform. So they provide the platform by giving a simple click. That's it. I want a Linux operating system of so and so configuration. Just do me. So it's available within 2 minutes. You can able to access. So no any issues on that. So in this way, you can able to learn the Linux, the environment of the Linux, the environment of kernel, the how exactly it's going to behave, how the process are going to work, how exactly we can able to manage the shell script in the Linux operating system. So everything we can able to learn it. Now, the second thing is Git actually. So what exactly the Git? So Linux is so now what you need to ask me guys, what is Git? So Git is a version control system. So what is this version control system? So when you guys are doing coding, right? So we generally save the code some at some place, right? Either we generally have some IDs there. IDEs are there. So in the integrated development environments. So in this integrated development environment, we generally use most of all time. We generally what we will use it. So code bases are there. Lot of code bases are there. So we generally store the codes in the those codes in any form, in any kind of, either we can able to store the code in the wrapper, either we can able to store in the notepad, so either we can able to store in some specific locations. We generally store it in number of, like, it's up to you, you can able to store it. But when you are storing these codes, suppose there is 100 lines of code is there, 1 to 50 lines of code is written by one developer, 50 to 100 lines of code second developer. So you need to you are storing at your local machines. So these two guys come to meet, then only the two lines, those complete code we can able to get into the picture. So we need to acquire that. Earlier, how we used to send the code, either by the emails we used to share the code, either by the ticketing tools we used to share the code, either by documents. In the documents we put the code and we used to share the code. But there is a in the Git, that one of the best open source, it's a versioning system. So what is this do? Once you the when you store the Git via the Git, the 1 to 50 lines of code becomes the first version. The 50 to 100 lines become the another version. You can able to merge that particular code. So the Git software should be present in the developer one laptop and the developer two laptop. Both the guys has created a single repository. So meaning repository is meaning it's just a folder. Okay, just create a folder of that particular repository and you push that particular code. So mean this 50 lines will be pushed from this developer one, another 50 lines will be pushed from developer two. So the code will be get created. That 100 lines of code will be. Now, one more advantage. This is the second advantage. Suppose in this 1 to 50 lines of code, you found out that some lines are wrong. Some lines of code is something has been, I need to add few more lines or I need to change few more lines. Either else, I need to delete some lines. So developer once again started some work and he pushed that code. Everything is can able to be get tracked. So meaning in which line, in which date, in which particular time you have been deleted, you have been added, you have been done some changes, everything will be get tracked. So this is one of the most important benefit. Now the developer too as well can able to view the changes, see the changes. See the most important thing here, another third benefit. Other developers also, what else happening in the repositories, they can able to see. Now, second developer thought that in the first developer code, something is wrong in this code, even though he pushed so many things, he can able to contribute to the code as well. So he can also able to contribute to that code, and he can also able to change the code, and he tells the developer to a pull request. He just pull the code with the changes. So once the developer one receives the pull request from the developer to he accept it, then the code will be get merged. So meaning in this way, version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. So in this way, the different kinds of versions of our code will be get generated. Suppose there are 5 versions of code is there. At the team discussion, they have been taught the third version we need to send, we need to push that particular code to the development. They have been taught. Just I'm giving an example. Then how you can able to track all those things using the commit ID, we can able to track it. So for each and every time you push the code, right, a commit ID will be get generated. So commit, git commit, you need to do that is the command. So you need to familiar with the commands of the git. So using this way, you can able to get to know even a small line change, just a space, just a semicolon change, also new version will be get created, right? So in this way, you can able to track each and everything using this git version control. So it's a free, and it's an open source, as I said, you can able to do that. Now once this version is done, you need to store that particular code, right? So store it, just you need to store it. GitHub then comes into the picture called GitHub. GitHub is nothing but it's a storage area. That's it. It's just a storage area. As we do have Google Space Drive is there, right? In the same way, GitHub also same. But dedicatedly for to manage the code for whatever, either with any language of the C, C++, Java, Python, .NET, anything, any kind of language, anything, either SQL scripts also you can able to store anything. So dedicatedly, the storage area of GitHub is created for to manage the code repositories. So once the Git version has been done, you need to store the particular code, right? It's an open source and it is in a central remote repository. So it's in the central repository. Anyone can able to access from anywhere from the earlier. What we generally used to do, we need to I mean, I'm just saying that just an example. We are just going through the code has been got created. We store in some place. Everyone should meet at a common point to a common folder, right? So there only we can able our code will be get available. Everything can in the same way from any place, from anywhere, from any laptop, we can able to access our code. So that is the beautiful thing of the GitHub actually. So meaning if you have access to that particular repository, you can able to do whatever the things you want. So meaning you can able to store your code, you can able to track your code, you can able to see the whatever the things are happening, history of that particular. So these are the commits as has been done, these are the new lines has been added, these are the branchings is happened, new folders has been got created under your repository. So who you can able to give the access. So there are 10 developers in the organization. You can able to give that to that particular repository to the 10 developers. No other developer can able to do that. This now coming to the GitHub, there are private repository is there and public repository is there. So meaning private means only secure people can able to access. Public means even I can able to access your code. Either some other X person can able to access your code from any part of the world. So that's what the powerful GitHub is. So this is how. So we do a lot of GitHub actions when we are how to move that code from to the deployment stages, how to move that code to from the storing that code from one place to another place. Lot of actions we do that. So we are coming into the picture once we are getting to the GitHub. So that's about it. Now there is another line exercise. Now it's just simple. AWS, I already said it, it's an Amazon Web Services. It provides the infrastructure, it provides as a platform, it provides a software as a service. Earlier, I'm again saying it. So if you want to test your APIs, we generally test APIs, right? So we do have a Postman. Why we use Postman? If you have AWS, they only provide the service of APIs. You can able to test there itself. Now, if you want any kind of service related to it, you need to download specific softwares every time. So from each and every specific providers. So why we need to download from multiple service providers to get our task? Just one AWS account is enough for that. Everything we can able to manage into it. You're getting the point, right? So just simple for the API management, we have a lot of APIs are there. Even Azure provide the API management, Google provide the API management, Postman provide the API management to test the APIs, everything. But AWS also is provided. So one AWS account is enough for us to access entire the services of this particular platform. So they provide the infrastructure, they provide the platform, they provide the software as well. So everything you can, it's a ready to go. So meaning if any startup company is there, I'm just telling an example, they need to provide from the scratch. They need to buy the licenses, they need to buy all those things, what are the infrastructure for the to maintain their code. Just one AWS account is enough for them, and the resources to manage those. That's enough. So anyone can able to do that. But in earlier days, there is no. It's nowhere to happen right now. You can able to manage everything. You can able to provide the public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, everything you can able to manage in entire the in the AWS environment. We don't discuss much into the AWS. Whatever the requirements are there, we can able to do that. So meaning, I mean what? We can discuss about the instances, we can discuss about the storages, we can discuss about the VPC, internet gateways. VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud. So this what is virtual private cloud? So generally, in this cloud, it's a public cloud actually. So if you want to access few resources, suppose as your organization is there, they do have multiple applications are there. So payroll application is there, employee registration application is there, and internet application is there. Lot of 5 to 6 resources are there. So these are you need to deploy very securely, right? So you can able to deploy those in the private cloud. Apart from your main application. So these things you can able to do in the VPC. So I'll tell you in a brief aspect. This is about the AWS. Now coming to the Ansible. So lot of people have a misconception. It's a managed tool. So suppose what is meaning by configuration management? So if you want any application, so generally you go to any shop to buy a laptop. What is the configuration they ask you? You will tell I want 1 TB of RAM, I want a Windows operating system, I want 16 GB of memory. These are the configurations we generally tell to the representative, sales representative. So he will give you a laptop. In the same way, Ansible also does the configuration management. So meaning what? Your application is there. What are suppose you are deploying a Java application? Simple example. So what are the requirements for the Java application? You need a server first of all. What server you need? Linux server you need, and Java software you need, Java 8 you need, Java SDK you need, Java 8 ODBC you need. So everything you give into the in a script. Okay, it's in a YAML script actually. So I'll tell you that what exactly that YAML is. So you need to tell all those things. Immediately it will get created, that configuration with the specific configuration. Either else every time we go into the manually deploy whatever the things we want, instead of that, just install that Ansible open source tool. It's a configuration management tool. Just write whatever the things you want in a simple script. I want a Java, I'm deploying a Java application, so I need a server with the server configuration of 10 GB ROM or 50 GB of memory, with the 100 GB of some storage space, and with the Java application JDBC drivers, ODBC drivers, Java 8 version. I just want, that's it. So they configure that particular management wherever you want. So that's how it's powerful. Instead of we doing it manually for each and every resource, okay, from the local machine, from the remote devices, you can able to do all those things. That's what about the Ansible. Okay. Now, coming to the Docker. So Docker is also an open source platform. So what exactly Docker does? So generally Docker, it's automate the deployments. So you need to ask me a question. So what exactly it deals with? First, you need to, right now we discuss about the Git, we discuss about the Linux, we discuss about the Ansible, we discuss about the AWS. What is the role of Docker? Docker is a containerization tool. So you need to ask me, what is container? That is a new thing you are asking. What is container? I will tell you simply. So container is also an instance. Container is also a server. But the thing is that when your application is there, there are millions of users are there. Okay. In the AWS instance, we create 100 servers we have created. Just example, I'm saying there is 100 servers we have created, and we are managing the traffic according to those 100 servers. Suppose that from 1 million to 20 million, 20 million to 30 million, when we scale, when the users has been accessing your application, then you need to increase your server count. So when you are increasing the server count, means you are managing with multiple kind of things. So imagine if 100 servers you are managing, with the team of less people of 10 people, but imagine you are managing with 500 servers, 600 servers, it's nowhere going to, we can't able to manage all the things. Why? Because if 500 servers, 600 servers are there in your AWS EC2 instances are running, you can't monitor each and every server or each and every time in the time to time interval. So here comes to the Docker to rescue us. So meaning what? When you download the Docker on your EC2 instance and you deploy your application inside the Docker, not on the EC2 instance. We are deploying our application inside the Docker. So the Docker will create an image. That image, when you run that image, a container will be get created. So meaning what? So the meaning is the thing, multiple containers able to run without a server. So meaning what here? It's a serverless. So meaning without any server, we are running our applications. So only one server is required, that EC2 instance. That in that EC2 instance, we install the Docker. Inside the Docker, we create multiple containers. Again, that what is that container? We write the whatever the operating system you want. You just write, I want Ubuntu operating system. I want a Sushi Linux operating system. I want Amazon Linux operating system. I want to deploy Java application. I need ODBC drivers, JDBC drivers, Java 8 version, and this is my application. You need to run it. So inside that containers, the applications are going to run it. So it's a very lightweight and easily can able to manage and easily able to deploy it. So this is how powerful the Docker engine is. So you need it will generally into the container architecture. So what inside this container, what exactly is going to happen? So you write a simple script of Docker file. In the Docker file, you write simply, I just want this kind of configurations. You just keep those configurations and tell your update. This is the where exactly my application is there. Show that path and you run that. Image will be get created. So this image will become a lightweight. So meaning an operating system with 10, suppose your Android operating system is there in your mobile. So in that mobile, it occupies 20 to 25% of your whole memory, right? In the same way, in this image, it is also stored into the same thing will going to happen, right? But in the Docker containers, it will very limited size. It reduces the size from 2 GB or 3 GB to 500 MB to 300 MB. So that's how the powerful is Docker. Okay, that's what about the Docker. Now coming to the Terraform. So this is another automation tool. So it provides the infrastructure. It provides the infrastructure. So meaning, what is meaning by infrastructure? Suppose you want I already said, if you want any Linux machine, if you want any Ubuntu machine, if you want any other kind of services, you just give the commands in the AWS environment, and it will create the infrastructure and it will give it to you, and we can able to use it. But how many times you can able to create that manually? At the end of the day, we are doing automation, but manually only we are doing it, right? Everything we are creating, everything we are giving the name, everything we are giving in the specific environment. I need specific region, I want need this particular resources, everything we are doing. But if you want 100 instances, to create one instance will take 2 minutes. But for the 100 instances, it will take 3 hours or 4 hours to create it. So the time is very high right here. So to reduce the time, automation is happening here via the Terraform. So what it does, just write a simple script that I want 100 EC2 instances, I want 200 EC2 instances, I want 20 EC2 instances, or else or else one EC2. Just write the script, you can able to directly create them. So guys, sorry, there is a little bit disturbance. So it manages the infrastructure, entire the infrastructure. So meaning, if you want 100 Linux instances, just write a simple script that you can execute that script, and the AWS will create the 100 EC2 instances immediately. So this is a third-party platform. Terraform is a third-party one, completely third-party. Yes, in the EC2 instance, there is a another service for CloudFront. In that CloudFront, you can write a simple script that even that also it will get created. But what is the make sure that Terraform is making big sound here? The thing is that the same code you can able to execute in multiple cloud environments. So meaning here, you can able to run the same code in the Azure, you can able to run the same code in GCP, you can able to run the same code in the Alibaba as well. So meaning, when the multiple cloud environments you are working, you need to write the script according to that cloud environment, right? According to that syntax, according to that policies. But the Terraform runs across all the cloud platforms. The same script can able to execute in different cloud providers. We can easily able to manage the infrastructure. So that's what the powerful is Terraform. Okay. Now coming to the Kubernetes. So this is the end. So wherever application is deployed in the Kubernetes, at the end of the day, our applications from the Git, when where exactly it has been born, the application is going to born in the Git, right? So our code entire that going to deploy somewhere, we can able to access that code. So that's going to happen in the Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is a container orchestration tool. So we just now discussed about the Docker, right? So in the Docker, it is also a container management tool. We are creating the images, we are running, then the container is getting created. So then what is the container orchestration tool? So here the Kubernetes role, once the Docker images has been created, right, it manages the containers here. So meaning what, here, there are some drawbacks are there in the Docker actually. So to overcome the drawbacks and to scale up with new features, this Kubernetes has been got created. So now here, how exactly it might be get useful. So meaning, for each and every application we are deploying into the in a container, right? It manages it using the commands. Even this also has a command line. If it is also having different kinds of methodologies. So what are the most of the things we get? It will create an auto scale, auto healing. These are the two most important things it will be get done. So meaning, what is meaning by auto scaling and auto healing? You need to ask. So auto scaling means, so I just know I have said, when we are deploying any application in the AWS, we are creating more servers to manage the traffic. Okay, so we are doing it manually. But in the Kubernetes, when you deploy that application, and the traffic is coming like insanely, 20 million to 30 millions of kind of things, you need to create another server. You need to ready to prepare another server. That no need to do it manually. By defaultly, Kubernetes will be get managed by writing a simple script that the same content of your application to run in 100 containers. So you just write a simple script, 100 containers will be get created immediately. So in that way, the auto scaling will be get happen. Now, what is meant by auto healing? So you have created the resource by creating the applications, by compiling it and deploying it. You deleted that particular container. Okay. So then what is the use when you delete it? So you need to get back it right. So that auto healing is get can able to happen in the Kubernetes. So that is one of right. Even the old versions also will be get run. The new versions also need to get run simultaneously. So these things how we can able. Hello. So earlier we different kinds of versions are there in the software version. So these are the version 1, version 2, version 3, and version 4 and version 5. Okay. So right now WhatsApp is there. In the WhatsApp, somebody update their application, somebody doesn't update their application. So when they're updating that application, the old one also should be get run, the new one also should be get run. So these kind of versions should be there. So each and everything simultaneously in a single environment. If you want to manage it, Kubernetes is the ultimate solution for you. That so you can able to do that. Okay. We call it as containers as pods, PODs. Pods we generally call this. That is a technical word name in the Kubernetes. So these pods actually manage, and we can able to use it anywhere and run it anywhere, and we can deploy it in your different public clouds. So you can able to deploy it in Azure. You can able to deploy some resources you can able to deploy in this cloud. Some resources you can able to deploy in other cloud. But everything is managed by the Kubernetes cluster. So that's what I will now. Okay. So this is what I want. This is the end where exactly our application is going to deploy. This is the last place where we generally do our application securely. We can able to deploy. So no one can able to intrude into it. So each and every person
Hello.
has the access on it. Then only they can able to do that.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
coming
I'm
to
audible.
open the
I'm
questions.
audible. Hello.
You're audible. Yeah,
Yeah.
guys, I'm
Sorry,
open.
your voice is so much breaking. So I'm just want to say Kubernetes means just simple way with the script of we can create the multiple Dockers. Is it like way?
No, it's not that way. So we can able to create Docker is the thing where we can able to create the containers. But to manage the containers, then Kubernetes comes into the picture. Docker is just to create the containers. That's it. We can able to manage the containers in the Docker as well. But in the Kubernetes, as I said, there are lot of new benefits of like auto scale and auto healing is there. That those things can able to do in the Docker. Sorry, those things can able to do in the Kubernetes, but not in the Docker. And once we delete in the Docker, any resource or anything, we are lost it. But in the Kubernetes, you can't able to, you can get it. You can get it. So that's the difference between the Docker and Kubernetes.
Okay, great.
So guys, any doubts or anything? It's open to you. That's what my end. Anyone can ask any doubts, anything about what today about this demonstration. Anything you can ask.
Yeah, sure. Shank, what
Yeah,
about the monitoring tools?
yeah. Yeah, that's the topic has been missed in the slide actually. So each and every application. So coming to, I'll tell you dedicatedly about you have been caught this issue, right? So for each and every application, we do have its dedicated own monitoring tools. But if you want to manage in all the tools in a single monitoring system, yes, there are few tools on that Prometheus. So that is included in our course actually. So that Prometheus is application where we can able to monitor our health and everything of our application, how it's running, everything. So in the AWS as well, we can able to monitor our instances and how we are managing it, how exactly we are the resources is behaving, and what kind of incoming traffic is getting, outcoming traffic, inbound and outbound traffic is going, management is happening. Everything we can able to do that. So if I would say that, suppose the server is there, server has been crossed its peak limit of 80%. Right now, we use the task manager, right? In our Windows, generally, it has the limit has been increased 100%. We generally kill those tasks. But to perform those tasks, we shift those tasks to another service. So we need to monitor all those things. So here, what we will do it, just simply keep the alarms. New kind of things we do have. Alarms are there. We can able to give the notifications are there. Simple notification services are there. These monitoring tools will be provided. So meaning what? If a request is coming from the specific resource, if it's clean, it's okay. But if it's coming multiple times, then the DDoS attack is going to happen. So stop that particular request. So that is the thing you can able to do that. And the second thing, once your resource is there, that is increasing its capacity, maximum capacity is running 80%, 90% is there. So you need to get a notification. So we can't able to do every time and check it, right? Again, it's going to happen manually. But if you want to get a notification every time, so using this monitoring tools, we can keep a notification service that yes, once the 80% limit has been, just send me a first cautionary mail. Once the 90% is happened, send me a second cautionary mail. So immediately this 90% threshold has been crossed. You will, as a DevOps engineers, we need to make sure to prepare a new infrastructure immediately by running these scripts. As I said, the configuration management scripts and the Ansible scripts, whatever the things we know. So immediately a resource will be get available to manage the traffic.
Yeah, Shashank, but most of the organizations is asking about the Grafana, Dynatrace, this kind of monitoring tools. Usually calls
exactly
in this. Yeah.
The thing is that we can able to use anything. I mean, there are a lot of provide. As I said, a lot of open source tools are there. It's up to our choose. Suppose AWS is there. I choose an AWS as a cloud provider. I can able to choose the Azure as well, right? Yes, Grafana is one of the popular tool right now. It is getting coming to the picture actually. So we can able to include that as well if you want. Yes, we are using it. It's an open source tool, and we can able to monitor the resources, everything, and continuous round the clock. So we do have different dashboards as well at there in the Grafana dedicatedly. So meaning, so particular resource we can able to have complete health picture of that resource. So meaning what, at what particular time intervals, how it is behaving, how exactly it's happening, everything you can able to watch it in the Grafana. That is one of the benefit actually. Anyone? Any questions?
So are we going to learn databases?
Are we going to learn
migration on AWS platform?
Yeah. So coming to the AWS migration. So, yeah, I got to know it. So from from physical location to cloud migration, we're asking. Yes, we need to have a proper plan on that. So first, what we will do, we deploy what we will do, we just simple calculator applications are there. Simple, any kind of applications is there. So take it as a calculator. So we deploy it in our physical machine, first of all. So meaning in our machines only we'll run it in our physical devices. Then how we can able to can able to migrate in the cloud. So in the cloud, we do have three-phase architecture is there. So we need to follow those on. So what is meaning by this three-phase architecture? One is front end, one is middleware, one is the back end. So front end, middleware, back end. So front end is comes into the UI, nice UI, HTML and Java and CS comes, and into the back end of Java, JavaScript, everything. So in the back end, we do have a database. So everything we need to be get integrated in that environment so that we can able to deploy it. So first, what we will do it, we'll do the same thing what we have been discussed it now. We do it in the physical one, and we will do it in the cloud. Okay. In a three-phase architecture style. Anyone, any questions? Any more? So guys, I'll come to the syllabus, what we are going to learn, all these things. So mostly we will just go to the what is the DevOps and what exactly the definitions, because it's very helpful for the interview purpose as well. They don't ask actually these simple questions, but some people doesn't know, right? We need to encourage them to know what exactly is happening between what the activities we generally do as a DevOps engineers day to day, and what exactly the main tasks we perform. These kind of things we need to know it. So this is what about the introduction. And next we go into the Linux. So first there, the must and should we start our course with the Linux. So once we are familiar with the Linux only, then only we can able to go to the next topics. So we just discuss on the multi-cluster system, users management, groups management, process, what the process are there, commands are there. So these things we're going to discuss, and into the GitHub. So what is a local repository and how to work with the remote repository, branching, merging, cloning, fetch, pull, cherry pick, and rebase. How these things we can able to work with the Git and GitHub. So this and versioning. So versioning is there. So I missed it. So versioning, how exactly we can able to do that. Everything we can able to learn it. Now, coming to the Ansible, this is where the configuration management. So how to configure it. So how we can able to do the configuration things we need to do it. What are the key concepts in the configuration management? And I mean in depth. These are whatever the things we have been discussed. Those are topics. In the topics, these are the syllabus. So each and every point what we are going to learn. Now coming to the coming into, these are the different kinds of configurations out of this Chef and Puppet. These are the previous one. I mean the previous, this is an old kind of thing. Right now Ansible is a quite complex, so that's the reason I just mentioned. So how exactly we can able to do with the Ansible, or how to set up for the first environment, how we can able to integrate with the Jenkins for the CI/CD pipelines. So everything we can able to do it. Okay. Now, the most important thing is Jenkins. So it's a configuration where we can able to integrate that environment so seamlessly from immediately. A new code has been created in the GitHub. So immediately you need to pick the code and you need to deploy it. So that thing can be happen through the via Jenkins. So how the installations can happen, plugins going to different kinds of plugins are there. So how these plugins we can able, how the build setups we can able, node servers with there. Lot of things are there. Integrations is there. How we can able familiar with the Groovy script. So Groovy script is the thing where we can able to deploy the jobs, run the jobs in the Jenkins tool. So how we so it's seamlessly we can know some what is a build. There are different kinds of stages are there in those in the Jenkins. So these things we can able to learn in the syllabus. Okay. Now coming to the end environment is Kubernetes. This is about the Kubernetes. What I already said in this, what exactly Kubernetes and the installation, how to create the pods, container management, configuration maps, environment variables, multi container pods. In this pod, multiple things we can able to do that. We can able to create a three-phase architecture. Just now, other guy just mentioned that how we can able to migrate from the physical to cloud, right? So those things how we can able to do in the in Kubernetes pods. So these things we can do. So logging, how we can able to then container logging. So each and every container have different IP addresses as well. So because it's also a server, I already said it. Even a container is also a server. So how we can able to access those things, how to do deployments, how the load balancer is going to work in this. So these things we can able to discuss. And coming into the last, it's an Amazon Web Services. So first we going to work on the AWS resources only anyhow. So how the IAM service is going to work, how the instances we need to create, how to access those things, how the storage services we can able to, how the cloud watch creating alarms. Just now some other guy just asked how the monitoring is happening using we just discussed it, right? So even the specific tools provide the say their own kind of monitoring tools. So this creating alarms and cloud watch is the service which provide the by the AWS. They can by this we can able to monitor the entire the resources, everything. So those things we can able to discuss. Okay, this is about the topics actually. So in depth, there are a lot of in depth are there. These are the things which have been discussed. Okay. So any other doubts, anything regarding the syllabus or anything you just ask me, I'm ready to say. Anyone?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of Minio in cloud?
What is the meaning of
Minio, MINIO.
Minio? So, to be frank with you, I'm not aware.
I heard this word something like related to storage and all.
Yeah, storage is the thing. Like kind of there are different kinds of snowflake is there. So that is we can able to do that manage with those things. So it's a data warehouses actually. Maybe Minio, what you have been saying that might be other service provider, maybe like kind of Azure, AWS, how their providers. Maybe that also Minio is kind of things. If I'm not wrong.
So, what is Snowflake, which you mentioned just now?
Coming into Snowflake, it's a storage. It's an SQL actually. It's a SQL engine. So where we can do data virtualization can able to happen. So we will do the data virtualization. Suppose there's a database is there. So the database, in the database we do have different warehouses are there. So what is meant by data warehouse? Inside that we do have data sets will be there. So what are those data sets? Banking. Suppose there's a bank is there. Okay, in that bank we do have customers are there. There's a customer database is there. In that customer database, a lot of different. So there are policy will be there. There is a loans will be there. There's a credit card will be there. There is a internet banking will be there. There's a account statements will be there. So a lot of services are there. So each and every service there is a data is there. So the data is partitioned to different data sets, right? So suppose in a more precise example, I would say that today HDFC Bank. HDFC today, how many new customers has been arrived? How they used to research somewhere in the database that is going to store it, right? So this analysis they will need. So what? So in this particular month, these many users has been registered. This is the particular month where exactly less users has been registered. In this particular month, it is the normal. In this particular, it's very abnormal. So in this way, virtualization of data can be able to happen so that business users can able to take decisions instead of putting the data in the Excel sheets. So that's how the Snowflake works. I mean,
Is it some kind of tool? Is it something?
Yeah, it's a tool. It's not an open source tool. First of all, it's not an open source. We need to pay some amount to that particular. It's a cloud based tool. First of all, so
I just heard the name of it. So
yeah. It's a cloud based tool. Directly, you can open in the web browser. You can able to do that. So.
Yeah, Shashank, I'm Ashok. I had a few questions, a few doubts about it. As I gone through your syllabus, you mentioned Linux. So I just wanted to know how many commands. Usually, as of best of my knowledge, 100 to 150 commands are most important.
Exactly.
And exactly. So which is used in most of the commands. We use 100 to 150. That is the first point. Coming to the Linux, and as for CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous delivery, you use Jenkins definitely.
Yes.
After yes, Hadoop and everything, Sun Microsystems, we take up Jenkins. But when you come to configuration management, yes, we do Ansible and Terraform, and for containerization, Docker and containerization orchestration is Kubernetes. We deploy in pods. That is also okay. These tools are very mandatory. 5 tools that is okay.
Exactly.
But most of the calls after this 3 months of course or 2 months of course, end of the goal is the getting job. Some might go with an experience, some people might go
Exactly.
with like fresher. This curriculum, what I wanted to know about this demo is what kind of exposure, what kind of the real-time scenarios is most important. And the thing is, we need to have a 2 or 3 monitoring tools, because people like organizations is expecting, some organizations are expecting Grafana. Some organizations is both Grafana and Prometheus. Some might
Yes.
Datadog. Some might need, Dynatrace. So
Yes.
they are very particular
That also
about these
becoming
kind
quite
of
popular.
tools.
Yes.
Yeah, very popular to some, based on the projects and the
Yeah, based upon the
organization.
projects. The thing is, yeah,
Yes,
I got,
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
I got your point.
yeah,
So
tell me. Yeah,
at the at the end of the day, so what is going to the outcome? The thing is that first of all, we are going to make familiar what are the things are around the world are happening. That is the one thing, and we are aware of the things with the new technologies. First of all, so we are in the market ready. So when the guys are coming from the market ready, companies also directly insist. I'm not saying that we'll get it definitely, or you are going to grab it immediately. That's a hypothetical question. First of all, so even I disagree with that. So if you are going to get anyhow, you are going to, but we are going to be market update. So whatever the things are there, we need to be update with that pace. That's going to get established. So whenever the requirement is going to come, so whoever has been trained in those things, whoever has been much more hands into the cloud, so they are going to pick up. So right now, we are in the stages of still 90% of our IT business are still running in the physical machine. We haven't migrated to the cloud. Once the cloud migration is going to start in a rapid phase, right now it has been started. So it is going to in the rapid phase. These are the tools are coming to the picture right now. Whatever the things you have been quoted, these are going to the must and should you need to do. With those only you can able to do whatever the work we are going to do. So that is the third thing. And the fourth thing, uh, this syllabus two kind in a two different way. One with the in the DevOps and other with the cloud as well. So there's a DevOps engineer is there, there's a cloud engineer as well. So you have the two hands into it. So not only focusing into it, you can able to monitor directly with a particular resource one. So I mean particular cloud provider. So we are targeting right now with the AWS one. So as an AWS engineer also you can able to secure your position. As a DevOps engineer as well, you can able to get it. So that's what about the course.
yeah. The thing is, I just wanted to notice that. Still. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's a good point. What you have been said.
Hey, hi, Sashanka Bhushan here.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I have a question with respect to the AWS syllabus. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether EC2 is also going to cover, and DB part also is going to cover, or whether it's limited only.
I would say that AWS is not. I would say that in a preserve, it's an ocean. First of all, AWS. If I would ask it abruptly, we don't cover everything, but it's not limited to specific only. We are whatever the things we have been used in the syllabus. Suppose there is storage services is there. Yes, we use the storage services. We use the DB services. Yes, if we require the DB service, I mean the why we require the DB service. First of all, the amount of application, then only we can do it. We generally work on the lightweight applications or very small scale applications only. When you are working with the large scale applications, then only the DB is going to require. If I would say that, so we just focus on the much more in the limited only, not into the broader in the coming to the AWS perspective to that particular service. To that particular service, we are going to use the VPC, we are going to use the subnets, we are going to use the private and public cloud, we are going to use with
Okay.
the IAM, we are going to use with the Route 53, we are going to use with the whatever say the monitoring tools, CloudWatch. These things we will do the basic kind. Not these are the basics actually. So we going to much presence in AWS, which are only actually useful for us. There are a lot of other resources as well. Even for the ML ops also is there, but we won't use that
Correct.
service, right? Whatever the services are there, those only we will use.
Uh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
So guys, any other doubts? Anything? Ask me, guys, anything. Just we are there here to clear the doubts itself only. Even
So,
regarding
will you teach about the playbooks?
Yeah, that's part of the course. Yes.
Yes, Ansible playbooks. Yes, YAML playbooks.
Yeah, this is the slide is writing Ansible playbooks. Everything we are going to do that. Yes, we will do that. 3 to 4 playbooks, we will write it. Upon that, you guys need to do work behind that. Yes, when the classes today has been completed. Just I'm saying an example. With the playbooks, we can able to do a lot of the things we can able to do. Lot of resources we can able to. You can able to configuration. You can able to do that. That's up to you. How much I will introduce about the playbooks. How we can? I'll tell you 3 to 4 examples. But we can't tell the hundreds of examples, right? So that's up to you. It's a scenario based with that. I'll tell you few examples. You need to do with the rest of the things. Any tool, if I would say that. Any doubts? On any other things? So guys, anyone? Any more questions? So we can close the call within the next 5 minutes then.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, how much duration it will take to complete?
It's going to take 2.5 months. So excluding Saturday and Sundays, only on weekdays. So that's what the initial plan. If you want the weekends, we can able to do that in a separate call. We talk with the management and we can able to take it later. So
and
that's
what will be the timings?
It is the timings of 1 hour every day.
No, I mean it will be in the morning.
That we will discuss. That will according to the students, and we will discuss with the manager. They will get back to you. Might be in the morning, it could be, or might be in the evening. So we'll for the feasible time we will provide it. Then we can able to do that, work on it.
And is there any materials we are going to get? Or in
right now, if you consider about the materials, there are a lot of available in the internet. If you want precisely, I want materials. To be frank with you, as a trader, I don't have right now. So if you want with the specific inputs, yes, I might be provided. Meanwhile I'll just take it some materials regarding whatever the things we have been discussed, and I'll make sure to have some blocks. Actually, I do have some blocks, so I will provide you those blocks. You can able to learn into it. If you want in a kind of a documentation form, yes, I'll try to get those.
And recording sessions.
Yeah, recordings will be there. That is definitely will be there. There is no question of that. Everything is a practical. First of all, there is no any PPTs or there is no any kind of thing. Yes, the first how the course will be there. I'll just tell you that the first 10 to 20 minutes of the course will be about the introduction of what exactly we are going to do. This is I'll just explain you. This is how the behavior. This is how the use case. This is the accessing, how we can able to access, how to install everything. But after this phase, we are going to be the practical only. So we will do everything in the live only. Many errors are going to come, to be frank with you. So we need to sit those errors. We need to resolve those errors. Then only we are going to come up. If it's a straightforward means, there is nothing to learn. Everything. So we need to resolve those errors. We need to troubleshoot those errors. These things are going. So when because each and every one desktops are different. I mean, laptops are with a different configurations. According to it, you need to build your application, make sure the configuration should get happen right. So that also comes into the picture.
And regarding the tools access, is it something like VDI or some virtual machines you will be giving access?
Yeah, we do. We use from the virtual machines of AWS. So that is the only option we do. So you guys must ensure to have the AWS account. So make sure to create an AWS account. That's it. That is the only one prerequisite from you guys. So make sure to create your own AWS account. I'll tell you how to create. If someone doesn't know, if you know anyone else, it's okay. I'll tell. It's no issue. I will help you on that.
Sir,
So,
but AWS account are given limited access for a free user.
Yeah, it's a limited access for the free user, but you can able to use up to 750 hours. So that meaning you create a usage instance. If you keep it for 10 days and you forgot, 300 hours is going to toss. So only 350 hours are going to remain. So for each and every service, it is based upon the service. For EC2 instance, that is the limit. For other services, there is another limit. So after the your end is happening, right? So it's more into the AWS concept actually. I'll tell you, no issues on that. So once we got the billing management also, you need to be get control. So every day how much amount of time you have been used, this is the per hour, this is the charge you need to pay. So these things are coming into the picture.
So since it's going to be virtual machine, so is it like supported by multi-users or only
yeah, it's supported by the multi-users. It's going to support multi-users. You can able to do. Suppose take an example. You are a group of friends. I'm just telling you. Okay, you are a group of 4 friends. Instead of creating 4 friends, 4 AWS accounts, create one. Only one guy create one account, and you can able to create multiple users actually to that account, so they can able to access those resources. You can able to do that. That also possible. So here the time reduction has been done and the cost reduction has been done, right? So everything is comes into the picture. So as a cloud, this comes to the cloud engineer concept. So they used to reduce the cost cutting. They used to optimize the things. These are also comes into the picture.
And as you said, it's going to be virtual machine access. So that means yes, no software we need to install in our machine. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay. Inside the virtual machine, we need to install the software.
Mm-hmm. Right not now, in our local to
not in our physical machines. There is nothing you need to install in your physical machines. Only 1 or 2 if you want any interfaces for Linux interfaces. If you want access, you just need to install. That's it. You no need to install anything.
Okay.
Will this go on real-time scenarios?
Yes, this is going to complete in the real-time scenarios and everything is a practical one. Like we'll take a simple application here. Okay, just a simple application that login. Okay, just create some tabs. Whatever the information we are given, it's going to get stored in the backend. Okay, it's a simple application. So how we will create that application from coding stage to the deployment stage. So though I'll tell you at the end of the project, so that's what we are going to do. First, we need to get to understand everything, right? So end to end, I'll tell you the project. So creating end to end with the automation, with the with the web hooks, with the GitHub hooks, everything from the Tomcat. If you want any application, if you want the .NET application with .NET, we can able to create Python. Means Python, we can able to create. If you want a Java, we can able to create it. So we will do it. I'll create with our 2 kinds of languages. I'll create one application and I will deploy it and I'll show it.
Sorry for the interruption. I'm really sorry for the interruption. Some organizations are deploying in Jenkins. They even see we run a job with a console output, that will deploy in Jenkins itself. Some organizations are deploying in Jenkins itself.
Deploying via Jenkins. So what exactly this Jenkins does? Okay, so Jenkins recently has been updated where they have created a user of Docker. Okay, so what they will do it, the Jenkins jobs will pick up the code and they build that code and they deploy into the Docker. So what exactly immediately Docker does? Already we do have Docker image will be get created once the Jenkins jobs pick the Docker user. So immediately it'll create the container. So this container, what will at the end of this container, where is going to deploy? It is deploying the Kubernetes. It's a seamless job. So here we need to connections, we need to make plugins. Everything should be uninterrupted. We need to manage all those things in the Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, after this course,
billing is coming again.
After this course, any placement are placed from your side?
Yeah, I think those assistants will be. I'm a trainer, to be frank with you. So I think the institute might be get provided. Yeah, they do have a reputation, right? Yes, they will do it.
Shashanka Bhushan here. Is this course both online and offline, right? Here, Pune location or only
this
online?
Is online actually.
Okay, not offline.
And not offline. This course is purely based on online. So guys, any questions? Let's close the call in next 2 minutes. Anything you can ask, any doubts into the domain or anything, you guys.
See, I found one more thing. See, like if you suppose if you take a Java file, that can be war file or a jar file.
Yeah.
If you so yeah, Shashanka. That can be a jar file or war file. That is nothing but an artifact.
Yes, exactly.
You are not including an like artifact, repository.
Yeah, I will. If you want the artifacts, yes, I'm ready to say with the artifacts. Right now, people, if you want to learn about this, yes, I'm ready to. It's a very simple topic, no issues. It's take 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, what I'm looking is the syllabus and curriculum, because I just wanted to cover the round the clock, because in this the resumes and the calls are coming only
Yeah.
if you fulfill entire end to end tools
Yes.
for
So
monitoring
that,
tools or something.
yeah,
If artifact tools also is very important.
it's very important, but in AWS itself only we can able to store it. I mean, we no need to go to suppose the artifactor JFrog is the one of the quite popular tool. Okay, so suppose in this artifact we generally store the images, everything. We do have an AWS. They provide the ECS tool is there, Elastic Container Services. Okay, so in the container services itself only, Elastic Container Registry is there, ECR. So that ECR, what will does, whatever the things we have been created via the Docker, that images, everything will be get stored there itself only. So it itself is an artifactory actually. If I would call it as a service of AWS. If you want it's a new from third party tool, yes, we can able to include that. I will provide. Yeah, no, it's no. Why? Because AWS itself provided a lot of services. Why we need to go with the third another third platform? That's it. That is the only thing which my concern. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
You got the point, right? What I'm trying to say.
Yeah. But of course we had an option in cloud platforms like AWS or Azure or GCP, whatever it is. But there is a tool like Jira. See, if I'm just looking in this regarding of syllabus, because if you're not covering or not covering, because entire after these things, everyone should going to be in that. They should scenario what kind of tool you used if you go for an experience. Yeah.
So what I will do it.
So at the end we cannot say we used an artifactory repository like a tool like in only in AWS for entire my
No, no,
career.
no.
Very
I
starting.
got it.
That
I
might
got
not be
your
fit.
point. I got your point. It depends on the project to project and organization to organization what you have said. But it's a good thing to learn before that. That's what you are trying to say. Yes, I will include that as well. No issues.
And you said about the image and configuration. We can delete an image also. We can create and we can delete, right? If we delete the image, we should delete the container first, right?
Yeah. So, no. First, you need to create image. Then only.
Okay, Shashank, I'm done with this. Thank you.